Hi everyone, today I'm unboxing another light. This is a Godox LC500R. It's sort of like one of those wand lights or stick lights. Let me just show you the box and then we'll have a look inside. So here's some specs. Hopefully that's focusing on the box. And here are the effects that you can get out of the light. And what else have we got? Just what's inside the box, which we'll have a look in a sec. So I'll unpack it and then I'll take a short minute break and have a look at what it does, and we can run through all the different features. So it comes in a little case, quite cool, trendy material. I'll do you a close up so you can see what it's sort of made out of. And two zippers on the side here, so open those up. And let's see what's in there. So I've got a few things. We've got, what have we got? Some pamphlets here. So instructions and warranty card. And, oh, that's the remote control instructions. So yeah, this comes with a remote control, which is pretty cool. I'll put those down, have a look at them in a sec. Let's quickly go through them. I'll just show you the box like this as well. So it's just sitting in there. And there's the remote and power cord. So remote, wow, it's pretty fancy. This is high tech, wow. Oh, I'll be interested to see this. So we'll test these out in a minute. Power cord, just an adapter. With one of those pin ones, and then we've got the wand. That's it. So the wand has these little barn doors or whatever they call them, so that you can control the light spill, and it's got a light on both sides. I'll have a quick read about what all the sides do. That's the front there, and that's the back where the power goes in. And what have we got on the? Oh, we've got a like a tripod mount or a stand mount, and also on that side, which is pretty cool. That's great. And I'll just give you a close up of these barn doors. So they're on a little hinge here. So they just swivel. All right, I'll cut it there. I'll have a look at the instructions, try out the light, and then I'll show you everything else about it. So see you soon. All right, so I've had a bit of time to look at the light. It's pretty cool. It's got some nice features in there and easy to use. So let's run through them, and then we'll take it into a darker room to test it out a bit more in depth than here. So I showed you those screws at the bottom, so let's just start with that. Mounting it, you can put it easily on a light stand. It's got the other screw at the top, as you saw, and of course you can hold it. It's got quite a good sort of grip, nice and big, so you don't feel like you're going to drop light or anything. And as far as power is concerned, I think I showed you this at the back, which is it just takes the charger. It takes 2.5 hours to charge from empty to full, according to the manual, and 1.5 hours runtime from at full capacity. So that's pretty good. Like 1.5 hours is pretty good for a light, and then you'll need to recharge. So as far as the physical aspects of the light, I've shown you the doors here, so they close completely and open all the way out to this sort of angle, I don't know, almost 180. They can also come off, so just by pushing up with your thumbs here, the doors will pop off and you can take them off altogether, or you can rotate them and use them for the backlight, because the front light here is your CCT, your white spectrum light, and at the back is your full RGB. So you can choose to have these on or off, or depending which light you're using, you can have them on for there as well. So as far as operating the light, you've got the full controls here, and you've also got this remote, which seems to me to be the better way to drive everything, because A, it's at your fingertips, and B, it's got a few more options here that this doesn't at the click of a button. So if we just have a look at the top, basically they're your modes. So you've got your Wi-Fi mode, which is basically linking more than one light in groups, etc. I think you can do groups of up to 6 groups of lights, and there's various channels you can put them on. I haven't really played with that because I've only got the one. Be interesting to see if I can maybe put my Godox SL60 or my Neewer SL60, which is like a Godox, onto this. I'll have a look at that as well. Then you've got your effects there. There's I'll just show you actually quickly in the manual so that you know what they are. So I'm not sure if we'll run through every single one, but they're the effects. So various combinations of those presses give you those effects. And then moving along is just your, yellow, blue lights, CCT, and then your HSI or your RGB, and which you can dial right up to however you want. And those basically control then the bottom of this. So if I pop that on, you can see the light's gone on, and we are in the front light mode, so the back light obviously is off. And this front light, we can adjust, the kelvins on it. We can also, just by pressing, you can also rotate this spinning wheel to do the same thing. And also with the remote, you can quickly press. So if you just want 3200, you can quickly press there. And then you've got your 56 and your 65. Moving on to the RGB side, I'll just flip the right light over and press the RGB. And you'll see that the backlight now has come on and that one has come off. And similar story here, you can just dial up your colors straight from here, which is really, really handy. You don't need to be fiddling around. You just simply press whichever color you want. But if you do want to fiddle, you can dial this right down to the degree of color you want. And this button here switches the remote between HSI and RGB. And you can dial, the beauty of this light is that not only can you dim it, you can increase or decrease the saturation of the color, which is an unusual concept for me. It's the first light that I've used that's like that. So if we were to decrease the saturation, you would get less blue or more blue, which is normally you just get a blue and that's it, which is pretty cool. So we'll test that out in the other room. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm sure I've missed something. I always miss something in these live. I don't script these, so I just sort of work through the light as I go. But once I take it in the other room, we can have a look at some of the different effects, and we'll just see what the light's actually like on my face and maybe as a background light. This is a bit wobbly here, so I'll cut it off here now, and then I'll darken the room up and maybe get the Godox SL60 out and use this as a background, but also maybe use this as a hair light and maybe even as a key light just to see what it's like, and then we'll try the effects. So see you in a sec. Spooky. Yes, it's dark in here. I'm going to turn on the SL60W Godox or Neewer. I think they're the same thing. I've got the Neewer version here. It's on my right here. I'm going to use this for a reference light. So it's got the softbox on it and the grid. And I'm going to turn it off now and turn on the LC500R. That is the model, isn't it? Oh, where's LC500R? That's it. And we'll see what difference that makes. So first I'll turn it on as a light on its own. So what do you think? I actually think it's quite nice. So I'm bouncing it off a wall into my face. Rather than just being the harsh light coming in. And I've got the grid sort of set up quite open, actually. It's wide open, so it's keeping it intact but bouncing onto the wall. So now what I'll do is turn on the Godox again, and you'll see that my whole face is too lit up and I'm probably at a too high ISO. So I'll just turn that down, but now it's sort of like a fill light, so there's no shadows happening on my face. So it's good, it's pretty good. I'm going to turn that Godox off again. We'll crank up the ISO on this one. Hopefully that's all coming out good. So I quite like that. That's pretty good. That could be your key light. That's pretty nice. Let me turn it towards me. We'll see how much sharper it will get. I might have to turn it down. Obviously that was at 100%. So as you can see, that's already pretty bright. Let's go to, oh, that's really bright still, isn't it? I'm down to 25. This is at 1. So, and that's shining straight at me. just like no diffusion, if you like. It's got sort of like a little diffusion panel on it, but I'm going to turn that back up to, say, oh, that's way too much again. This is tricky, isn't it? Yeah, so that's quite harsh. So you see when I rotate that the other way and put it up to 100, we've got a much, much, much nicer light. And that's because it's bouncing. So when light bounces, it diffuses and creates less shadows. So yeah, that's that as a key light. I think that's pretty good. What I'll do next is put the SL60 back on, and we'll use this as a light in the background and see what that looks like. Maybe we'll do like a blue light in the background. So let's try that. All right, so this time I've turned 2 lamps on. This one on this side is just a hue bulb inside a lamp, and on this side is the light that we're trying out. So just to give a little bit of reference, so it's actually set just at 2, like 2% for the dimming, this light. I'll turn it right up to 100 so you can see how bright it can get, and then we'll switch through the different colors so you can also see what sort of colors you can get out of this. So I'm staring at this remote trying to, that's how long it takes to go to 100. So that's 100, and I'll just flick through the colors. So you've got red, green, blue, cyan, magenta, yellow, pink, violet, and orange. And I'll put them back down. So that's just to give you like an idea of what it would look like in the background, so you can use it as background light. You can shape it, of course, and lay it down. I've just got it standing up, but yeah, and that would be with it off. So off and on to 1%, and that's at full saturation. So that's that option. Let's look at another one. Okay, in this next example, I've got the key light still here, the SL60, and this time we're going to use the wand, the stick, as a hair light. So let me turn this off and turn the backlight on. So you can see it's giving me that kick in the hair and the back of my head, giving some separation from the background. And now if I turn that on, we've got both lights on, and I'll turn the stick light off so you can see what difference it makes. So now it's off and now it's on. So it's quite good in that regard too, and you can put it up a little bit higher. I've got it behind me, but just because I haven't set it up on a stand, but you could put it up a little bit higher. Let's try another thing. To finish off, I'll just show you one of the effects that it can do. So I'll turn it on the back, just a warning that it might be flickering. Turn on now. So that first one is just, it cycles through the different colors, and it can do it at different speeds. But as I showed you in the table, it can do a lot of different effects. I won't put them on now because they can be quite flickery. But yeah, it can do lightning and flashes and police cars, and it can react to your voice as well. So it can light like as in music, and yeah, that just does a lot of things. So, but they're mainly used for, you know, their effects. They're not something that you use in your main video normally. So yeah, I hope that video today was of interest to you. If it was, just give a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more from me. And if you've got any questions, just leave them down below. I usually miss something, which I normally leave in the description if I have, or if there's any corrections to anything. But yeah, feel free to ask me questions, and yeah, I can look up things and answer them as you need. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching this one. Bye.